Hello aspirants, how are you all? This is your GKGS mentor आशीष कुमार सिंह in front of you and here I am today again with a very important session. और इस सेशन में हम लोग जानेंगे what is Article 370 verdict. Article 370 का verdict क्या है and what are the important points that we need to remember when we see this verdict from exam perspective, and along with that we'll also see what is the issue and how it will impact India and the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so bane rehna last tak. We'll be seeing all those facts and I'll be clearing all your doubts when it comes to Article 370. You will never need to see anything after seeing this session. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's quickly get started and let's get to see the facts which are associated with this article. सबसे पहले students, we will be getting into the historical background of Article 370. Article 370 क्या है? Article 370 was an article which was inserted in the draft constitution by N. Gopalaस्वामी Ayyanagar as Article 306A. ये एक ऐसा फैक्ट है that many of us do not know. ये एक ऐसा फैक्ट है that many of us do not know, and that is why requesting all of you to know that Article 370 before being Article 370 was Article 306A, and which was inserted in the draft constitution by N. Gopalaस्वामी Ayyanagar. Now, on 17th of October 1949, the birth of Article 370 happened in the constitution, in the not the drafted constitution but the real constitution, but as a temporary provision. Okay, this is the game. Temporary provision के form में इसको embed किया गया. Now what is this temporary provision? Let me tell you. There was a king of Kashmir. Okay, king of Kashmir जो थे, before merging into India, he said that what I want is that the state of Jammu Kashmir should have some more independence. The state's assembly should make laws on their own and the center should not disrupt. Indian government agreed on that, but at the same time that they said that look sir, we will provide you this thing for some time, because as of now this is a war time situation. उस समय इंडिया पाकिस्तान के बीच पार्टीशन हो रहा था. Partition was going on between India and Pakistan, and wartime situation was there. Pakistan was firing the Jammu Kashmir from the other side. So the Jammu Kashmir king said that we will merge, but on this and this condition. Indian government also said that we will provide you this provision, but only till wars last or even after the war for some time, because in the end we are one nation and we have to remain united. ये Indian government ने बोला, and they have given the provision of Article 370, but it was a temporary provision. Just keep that in mind. Now what it did, it allowed Jammu and Kashmir to draft its own constitution and restricted the Indian parliament legislative power in the state. Basically, when we talk about the legislative power, or the power with the help of which the government rules the nation or the government manages the nation, center is always above the state government, right? Center अगर यहाँ है तो state government यहाँ है. That is why center is able to unite the entire state, right? But what this article did was it gave Jammu Kashmir the power equivalent to center. So it was not justified in some manner that एक particular state को we are giving more power and other states are down to that, right? So it was somewhere unbiased. और कहीं ना कहीं since the war time has ended and Jammu and Kashmir has now started being united in India with full capacity and audacity, तो we can say कि जम्मू कश्मीर के मैनेज करने के लिए this was necessary, and hence Article 370 was scrapped by the Indian government in 2019. Now you would say, sir, how it was scrapped? Firstly, because it was a temporary provision. Secondly, because it was unbiased to give some states more power, subjected to the condition that they need it. Okay, in some special cases, कुछ special cases में, like for example suppose there are some tribal groups which who do not want to come in the front of the world and they need to conserve their tradition and customs, so we can allow them to conserve their tradition and custom just because it is associated with their morality or something like that, but we cannot give the power just in the terms that that particular state has been in power since independence, right? So उस चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए it was scrapped. Now how it was scrapped, let me tell you. In 2019, government of India voted in favor of scrapping the Jammu and Kashmir. Article 370, Jammu and Kashmir's special power or Article 370. There's a clause in Article 370 which you all can see, clause 3 of Article 370. It gave the President of India the power to scrap it anytime. This is the President of India, 15th President of India. तो इनके पावर से भारत सरकार ने scrapped it in 2019 with the help of President powers. Government of India scrapped the laws of the Article 317 2019 it was scrapped. Okay, cool, fine, यहाँ तक clear है. अब देखो, after the scrapping Jammu Kashmir was given the designation or title of a union territory, right? And along with that the union territory of Ladakh was also formed. लद्दाख को भी एक यूनियन टेरिटरी का स्टेटस दिया गया, अलग सेपरेट यूनियन टेरिटरी, एंड जम्मू कश्मीर was also given a title of union territory. Now what does it mean when I say union territory? Union territory means it need to be administered by the central government. Central government will look into it, but before being a union territory Jammu Kashmir was what? Jammu Kashmir was a state, right? Jammu Kashmir पहले क्या था? जम्मू कश्मीर पहले एक स्टेट हुआ करता था बिफोर बीइंग अ यूनियन टेरिटरी. एंड स्टेट्स में क्या थे? इन स्टेट देयर वेर लेजिस्लेटिव assemblies, right? Legislative assembly थे where people elect the leaders, and when people elect the leaders the state is democratic, the nation is democratic. Now the debate or the thing that was challenged in the Supreme Court में challenge किया गया. It was basically a petition was given in Supreme Court that it is unconstitutional that the central government has scrapped this legislative assembly and has taken out the power of Article 370. ये unconstitutional है, it is not true, justified and correct. Okay, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट में बोला गया. नाउ सुप्रीम कोर्ट heard the petition. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने petition heard किया. These are the 5 bench judge who heard the petition. सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ना बेसिकली जो डिसीजंस होते हैं दे आर जज्ड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द बेंच, राइट? तो यहाँ पे देयर वर 5 जजेस, जस्टिस सूर्यकांत, जस्टिस संजय, जस्टिस डीवाई चंद्रचूड़, ही इज द चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया, जस्टिस संजीव खन्ना एंड जस्टिस बी आर गवई. तो इन 5 जजेस ने केस को हेयर करा. They look into it from the various perspective. We will not go into that fact because for that Supreme Court is there. Decision Supreme Court देती है, biased decision नहीं देती है, हमेशा unbiased देती है. तो उस fact में हम लोग नहीं जाएंगे कि कैसे क्या दिया, but this was the reality that has happened. Okay, legality was challenged, that why this legislative assembly was scrapped. Okay, first thing, why this legislative assembly was scrapped, and second thing that why Article 370 was removed. Okay, इन दोनों चीजों के लीगैलिटी पे बात उठा. नाउ अब जजमेंट के बारे में बात करते हैं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या जजमेंट दिया. सी, द आर्टिकल वाज एब्रोगेटेड और स्क्रैप्ड इन 2019. दिस वाज हेल्ड, दिस डिसीजन वाज upheld by सुप्रीम कोर्ट, मीनिंग विच कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला दैट द स्क्रैपिंग ऑफ द जम्मू कश्मीर इज ट्रू एंड जस्टिफाइड. ये होना चाहिए था बिकॉज यूनिटी इज प्रायोरिटी, राइट? तो यूनिटी इज प्रायोरिटी को पर्सपेक्टिव में रखते हुए इट इज ट्रू एंड जस्टिफाइड. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू कि भाई लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली का क्या, व्हाट अबाउट द लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली दैट वाज देयर. सो सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड दैट जम्मू कश्मीर शुड बी गिवन स्टेटहुड as soon as possible. इस पर्सपेक्टिव में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला that Jammu Kashmir should be given statehood, and along with that Supreme Court said that Ladakh was formed in 2019 as a union territory, it will continue to remain as a union territory. Okay, so ये 3 prominent decisions हैं. You have to remember it from the exams perspective that statehood will be re-established in Jammu Kashmir first. Secondly, the scrapping of Article 370 was upheld, and thirdly, Union Territory of Ladakh will remain as it was. Okay, this was decided by Supreme Court के 5 judges bench, and these are the 5 judges who were responsible. Now, see, there were 5 judges but 3 separate judgment. Now, what has happened that 3 judges named CJI, that is Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice गवई और जस्टिस सूर्यकांत. जस्टिस गवई, सूर्यकांत और जीवाई चंद्रचूड़ ने जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट दिया, एंड दैट मेक्स अप टू 1 स्टेटमेंट, राइट? ये एक स्टेटमेंट हुआ ना, because they had given a joint statement, so it sums up to 1 statement. Now justice SK and SK, that is SK Kaul and SK Khanna. Both of them has given a separate statement. इनका दो statement हो गया, तो total कितना statement आया? Total three statements came. Okay, total three statements came. You need to remember SK से याद रखना कि where in the name if it is SK, that particular person has given a separate statement. Okay, so SK नाम के person ने, judges ने separate statement दिया है. Three statements have came, and what I request all of you is to at least remember three key decisions, that Ladakh will be remain Ladakh of Union Territory, Jammu Kashmir will be given statehood, and Article 370 would be scrapped. Now, when we see it from the historical perspective also, I need all of you to remember all the fact that it was formed on 17th of October 1949, first thing. Secondly, आर्टिकल 370 से पहले ये 306 ए हुआ करता था, और गोपाल स्वामी अय्यर नगर सर इसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में ड्राफ्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट करे थे. These are the things that you need to remember when we see it from the exams perspective. And one more thing, that it got abrogated in 2019, and along with that the name of the judges, naam bhi important hai, right? So names of the judges is also very important for all of you to remember. So at least you should remember these things when it comes to Article 370. Why? Because in the end we are united, and we need to be united is what Supreme Court think, is what we think, and is what we all want. Okay. So this was all in the session. Thank you very much for being in the session. I'll see you again with some sessions and such sessions. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Thank you and Jai Hind.